So, Tin, what are we talking about today?
About stuff you need to know.
Well, do I need to know it?
I think we all need to know it, Norm.
Oh, right. Well, we'll get right on that. Before we do, we're Tina and Norm, and if you haven't already subscribed, we'd really love you to do it. We're going to give you a rapid fire of stuff you need to know, and we've come across this little by little through our whole life. So, Tin, lead it away.
I think one of the best things that we learned was before Norm and I got married, we went to visit my grandparents and they gave us two words of advice. The first was always have one purse, and the second was never go to bed angry.
And they were deeply in love. They'd been married
Yes.
a long, long time. And Tina's grandmother became bedridden, so her grandfather got into the bed next to her, just like John Lennon did, and that's where they stayed for the rest of their lives in their late 90s. Yeah, full of wisdom. He was a self-made man, and the one purse idea of just having one pool of money in a marriage, one account, or if you have accounts, savings account, checking account, have them all joint. And the other benefit to that is that in retirement, when one of you passes away, there isn't a big deal for the other partner to get the money and continue living. It's seamless. Whereas if you have separate accounts and you've got to go to the bank, give them a death certificate, all that good stuff.
So in actual fact, Norm, it can prove a huge bonus to when you're in your retirement, can't it?
It can, and it just adds to the openness of your marriage that you've got nothing to hide.
No.
Or if you do, you should be careful. So, leading on from bank accounts, credit cards, aren't they just the biggest pleasure in life and also the scourge of humanity? They can enable so many good things for you, but they can also trip the unsuspecting, us included earlier in our marriage, into massive debt. So don't carry credit card debt. Try and limit that. So in retirement, we didn't have any credit card debt. We do not have any credit card debt that is beyond 30 days. So we clear our card every month and we enjoy all those points, like Tina has the President's Choice, where she gets points.
Like points, and then it becomes cash back, doesn't it?
Free groceries. So the other thing that we learned is I'd always had a credit card throughout my whole married life because I was a sales rep on the road, and the company required that you bought the gasoline, petrol for your car, and expensed lunches with clients, and then they would reimburse you. So yeah, I always had credit card. And then we got Tina a credit card early in our marriage as an additional card holder. And what we didn't realize for all those years, it didn't add anything to Tina's credit score, only mine, because in the eyes of the credit card, a second card holder is nothing.
It's invisible. So it only worked for you, wasn't it? And it took us years before we found that out, didn't we?
But as soon as we did, we got Tina to apply for a credit card in her own name.
Yeah.
Because once again, if I had passed away, she would have been left with no credit at all, no credit score or minimal credit score. So it's important that if there's two of you and only one is the major credit card holder, the other partner should get one in their own name, just so they become available to get credit in a case of emergencies.
That's great advice.
The other one that we just found out, Tina, is have two credit cards.
Yeah.
That goes against the grain of us, but why would we have two credit cards?
Well, we just recently found this out, and we thought this is fantastic advice, even for us, is to get a second credit card, but to only have a really low limit on it. By that, we're kind of maybe saying $1,000 or $2,000 would be
Yeah.
a low limit because our limit's a lot higher on our other card.
Right.
And the reason is use it for all your online buying, like everything you order from Amazon or Walmart. Just use this low limit credit card that, God forbid, you get hacked. Your exposure is not that bad.
Maximum of
Oh,
$2,000.
and we thought, that's brilliant advice. We only just found this out, didn't we?
But it leaves your main credit card
Yeah.
off the internet. So
Yeah.
you can go to hotels, car
Yeah.
rentals,
Put trips.
stores, and buy stuff in person.
Yeah.
But your online presence shouldn't have your main credit card on there.
No.
So get this card that you're only going to use online.
Yeah.
So anything that you buy online, so Skip the Dishes, Domino's Pizzas,
Just use that one, hey?
all your TV subscriptions, just use that. And so if you are hacked and there's any problem at the bank reimbursing you, the maximum you can lose is a small credit limit.
Yeah, we thought that was brilliant advice,
Awesome.
didn't we? Yeah. I think another thing too, Norm, is yet again another lesson we learned. If for some reason you emigrate to another country and you then have a second passport, what we're suggesting is make sure when your first passport runs out or just before it runs out, renew it at the time. Don't let it run out like as we did. We've just recently renewed our British passports because they ran out. And what a palaver it was. It was so much harder, wasn't it, to do it. So our advice is, and lots of people are doing this, moving from country to country, keep that initial passport when it runs out, get it renewed at the same time.
That's
so then
great advice.
You've got two passports.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
And why do we have two passports? Well, in case the taxman chases me. No, it isn't.
No.
We pay our taxes. It's just in case geopolitical things happen and we might find ourselves needing to leave Canada. Who knows? We don't know. So it's there. It's a luxury we can afford.
Yeah.
And if we never use them, then that's fine by us. We love living in Canada. We downsized. I think a lot of our viewers know that. We downsized radically. So we went from being homeowners.
Yes.
Tina and I were homeowners when we were 20 and 18 years old. We bought our first house. And we decided in retirement, actually way before retirement, in our middle age, we knew we would sell our house and that would be our pension because we didn't have any company
That was always the plan, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was. So one of the biggest pieces of advice that we would give you is if you're a homeowner and you're anticipating to downsize either to a smaller home or a rental apartment, don't treat the huge amount of capital that you're going to get from your home like a lottery winnings. It's so easy to think we have all this money. Let's go get a new car.
Yeah, let's go blow it. Let's get name it, second home,
let's
anything.
Start traveling. We'll live on a cruise ship for a year.
Oh, and you could see that money melt away really fast.
We've all heard about lottery winners that get big money and then in a year or two they're bankrupt.
Yeah.
Please be careful if you get a large amount of capital from your home that you manage it responsibly, because this is the last time in your life you're probably going to get a big lump sum of money given to you because you're no longer working. So we would say don't become a lottery winner in downsizing.
I think another thing too, Norm, is that a lot of people might know is with a lot of the bills that we pay to do with insurances, a lot of them, whether it's the
Yeah.
car or the trailer or even the insurance are on the apartment here, we tend to pay a lot of those bills yearly.
And why do we do that, Teen?
We want to avoid those monthly charges because you might not be reading the fine print, but
Who does?
there is always, if you opt to pay monthly, they will have tagged interest on
Yeah.
somewhere. And
Administration
yeah,
charges.
fees and things like that. And we looked at this a while back now, and we
Mm-hmm.
decided one of the best ways to do it is just pay those bills yearly. And since then, it's worked out great,
Also,
hasn't
if
it?
you're going to be traveling, you're not having to
Mm.
worry, did the payment go through this month for
Mm-hmm.
the car insurance, for the trailer insurance, for whatever else insurance?
Mm-hmm.
And so we take those and get rid of them, then we don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
It's all about reducing stress in retirement, stress of doing things that you don't really need to be worrying about.
And there's another thing too, Norm. Remember, there's a new rule just come in that said if you were to be paying those bills now on a credit card,
Hmm.
a lot of these companies can be adding an additional, I'm going to say around 4 to
Yeah,
5%
it
as a
is.
charge if you put that monthly bill on a credit card. So that's another of those little hidden things that we don't like those sort of things. So if you can pay it all in one go and it
Well,
gets rid of it.
put it this way: 5% of your car
Yeah,
insurance.
adds
That's
up.
size. That
Yeah.
could be dinner out one night.
Absolutely, it could,
It's
couldn't it?
free money, so you might as well keep it. Hey, do you like rocking my T-shirt, Tim?
Oh, I think that is really
I
nice.
haven't had one of my rock T-shirts on for some time.
No, you haven't, eh? That's a
No.
great one.
So the other thing about rock T-shirts and going to bars and rocking out,
Ooh, yeah.
it's expensive. It's
Yes,
expensive
it
going
is.
out. So we have friends and we kind of have a lunch date
Hmm?
and we'll go to various places. We have a Vietnamese restaurant, which is our absolute favorite.
Yeah.
But we've been trying some new places.
Yes, we
But
have.
the one thing this couple always does, and now it's rubbed off on us, they don't buy alcohol at lunchtime.
No.
As soon as we go into a restaurant and they say, "What would you like to drink?" They say, "Ice water with lemon, please."
So we're all on ice water with lemon. It's down to a fine art now, isn't it?
Whereas if
Yeah.
you'd, instead of having the ice water and lemon, had a beer,
Yeah.
you could be paying $8 to $10 for a beer,
Yeah.
$6 to $8 for a glass of wine. And it's just not worth it. So
No.
what we tend to do with that couple is after we've had our lunch, we have a good old chit chat, have a 2 hour lunch in the restaurant, and then we come back to either our place or their place. And we've got we've been to the liquor store and we've got some alcoholic drinks, but they're only costing a couple of dollars for a drink instead of nearly $10.
Yeah. What a way to save money, hey, Norm?
It really
It
is.
is a great way.
One more thing that we learned a lesson quite quickly, especially as we started traveling a lot more, was we decided because we could afford it, we wouldn't take our car to the airport anymore.
Oh.
And, and have you ever been to somewhere sunny,
Oh.
got back, and you've left your winter coats in the car?
Yeah.
So now the winter coats are freezing. You get back to the cheap parking lot at the airport,
and
they've ploughed you in with snow.
the car. In fact, half the time you can't see the car for the snow that's on
There
top of
was
it.
one time where there was a whole
Oh.
bunch of us, and there was just
Oh.
one tiny little plastic shovel.
Shovel for everybody. It was a nightmare, wasn't it?
And so we all ended up shoveling each other's cars out, and then we had to push the cars over the snowbank.
Yeah.
That was a lesson that we learned. that could ruin your holiday. So we take a car from our apartment. We get a taxi company, and they will take us to the airport at a flat rate.
Yes.
and they will come and pick us up as well at a flat rate. So basically, we don't have to worry about the snow. We get picked up at our door and dropped off at our door.
And then the car's always nice and warm
It
too to
is.
get in, which is great.
So that
Yeah.
was something that we decided in retirement to have a little bit of luxury about.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us what you've learnt over your life that you could share tips with all of us? It would be interesting to hear because we certainly don't know everything.
No.
We've only just scraped the surface.
And we often learn so much from all the comments. We learn a lot too from what you put as well, don't we?
Yes, yeah, you all are a marvelous,
Yeah.
great bunch of internet friends that share great ideas with us. So we do thank you for that. And we do hope that everybody is keeping well.
And staying safe.
And until the next time,
Bye bye.
bye bye.